Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, here with some thoughts on the breaking story that Saul Alvarez is going to fight Josesito Lopez. Let's talk about it. But before I do, just remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now just imagine if Vladimir Klitschko, in addition to having a great left hook and a great straight right hand, also could open up on your body when you were up on him with a two-handed body attack. Could literally, with leverage, just open up on a guy's body. Well, what I want you to do is to take a look at the Shane Mosley Saul Alvarez tape. You're going to see that Alvarez, who fights a lot like Klitschko, right? He likes to shoot a jab. He likes to go with the left hook. He likes to come across with a straight right hand. But when Shane Mosley, a huge puncher, gets up on him, he literally is able to open up on Shane Mosley's body. I point that out because I believe Josesito Lopez's body is wide open. I don't think these two guys, even though Lopez might marginally be taller, are the same size, right? Lopez recently fought Jesse Vargas and Mike Dallas. These are recent fights at weights less than 145 pounds. And now he's going to fight the 154-pound champion, who, pound for pound, is one of the hardest punchers in the sport. Don't get fooled by Saul Alvarez's baby face. The guy has one of the biggest punches in the sport. Also, don't get fooled by catch weights. Now, no catch weight has been announced. But if they tell you that this fight is at 152 or whatever, don't be fooled by that. Because Saul Alvarez, after weigh-ins, will often gain in excess of 10 pounds. Right? For a recent fight, Saul Alvarez entered the ring. In fact, for the Shane Mosley fight on Fight Night, for a 154 weight division fight, weighing 167 pounds. So even if they have a catch weight at 152, by the time this fight happens, Saul Alvarez, 24 hours later, is going to weigh more than 160 pounds, right? I think the fight's a mismatch. I think Saul Alvarez gets a KO. I know the world right now is dissing Victor Ortiz for his fight against Lopez. Quite frankly, I thought Ortiz was winning that fight. Let me just say, Ortiz made the right decision. This is a sport. He had a rematch clause. If you break your jaw, why not end the fight? Broken jaws could end up with compound fractures, right? As it was, Ortiz needed to have surgery and has a titanium rod inserted into his jaw right now, right? I believe Ortiz did the right thing by ending that fight, going and having surgery. But my point to you is, let's not rewrite history. Ortiz was winning that fight. It wasn't like Lopez gained the weight, was fighting Ortiz, and was actually winning the fight. Let's also talk fight style. You know, who's the kind of fighter that a Vladimir Klitschko or a Saul Alvarez will typically feast on? It's the kind of fighter who literally pursues them. It's the Carlos Baldemirs of the world, right? It's the Ryan Rhodeses of the world. Fighters who fight on their front foot pay a huge price when they go up against concussive punchers, especially when that concussive puncher can throw knockout power with a left hook, right? While still having their dominant hand up against their body. In other words, Saul Alvarez, it's a multi-layered attack. If I'm going to bum rush Saul Alvarez, I have to get by a left hook before I even get to the straight right hand. Well, my point to you is this. Josesito Lopez fights on his front foot, not his back foot. He's the guy coming forward. He's the guy pressing the issue. Here, he's going to be pressing the issue against forget height, think size, a physically bigger guy with one punch knockout power in two hands. If you don't believe me, count the number of punches that it took Saul Alvarez to knock out Carlos Baldomir. 1 minute, Baldomir is conscious. He gets hit with one left hook. That fight is over. Right? Guys who have been in wars, like Ryan Rhodes, after they fought Canelo, talk about his punching power. Now you're going to tell me that a guy who fights on his front foot, who's smaller than Canelo, with no experience at 154 pounds, is going to fight Canelo and is going to have a realistic shot of taking his title? You got to be kidding me. I'm expecting Canelo to win this fight by knockout. Don't be fooled, too, by the fact that Shane Mosley was able to go the distance with Saul Alvarez. Because understand, Shane Mosley has never been stopped inside of the distance his entire career. Think about all the punchers he's fought, right? Prime Oscar De La Hoya, right? Floyd Mayweather. Shane Mosley has never been stopped. He's been down, Vernon Forrest, Manny Pacquiao, but he's never been stopped. The fact that Shane Mosley somehow went the distance with Saul Alvarez after a career of going the distance in fights, right? The fact that Shane Mosley went the distance does not mean that Josesito Lopez goes the distance. Let me go one step further. This is not to suggest that Lopez isn't a very talented fighter, right? He's a bit of an urban legend. People know that he actually beat Vanis Martirosyan in the amateurs. I believe he's the kind of fighter who fighters respect, right? I saw him stop Mike Dallas, and that was an interesting fight. I was expecting Dallas to win privately, right? He's an excellent fighter. But weight classes matter. Punching power matters, especially when Lopez isn't a dancer, right? If you're going to beat Saul Alvarez, and I know I've been critical of Saul Alvarez, but styles make fights. If you're going to beat Saul Alvarez, you have to know how to be slick. You have to know how to move around the ring. Right here, I don't believe Josesito Lopez is that slick. I believe he's going to be right in front of Saul Alvarez. I'm expecting Saul Alvarez to win this fight inside of the distance. I like Alvarez by KO. I just don't see Lopez going the distance. Let me make another point too. Guys like Jesse Vargas, who beat Lopez, right, in a disputed fight. Guys like Jesse Vargas like to fight long, right? What I believe we're going to see here is a 21-year-old fighter who already knows he can fight long, who is going to try to develop, and in fact he has been developing, his inside game. And that's Saul Alvarez. He's not a master inside by any stretch of the imagination. I would say he's just learning how to throw punches inside. But what I have noticed with Saul Alvarez is he seems to have made a conscious decision to figure out how to go to his opponent's bodies, right? And I think that Lopez has never in his life experienced the body punching he's going to face from Saul Alvarez if he's fortunate enough to dodge Saul Alvarez's left hook and a straight right hand. I think this is a mismatch. I like Alvarez big in this one. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. And let me just say, the real action in the videos are really not the videos, but in the comments to the video. It's a chance for sports fans to talk with each other. Let me also say, too, that if you want to see the Victor Ortiz Josesito Lopez fight in its entirety, there is a great website with a lot of full fights involving a lot of people. It's called sosoboxing.com. When I'm analyzing fights, it's definitely a place that I check out. I hope you do too. Thanks for watching.